All right, welcome back, my dear students. I hope that most of you were able to install Composer, or maybe you already had it. I don't know, but if you have any issues, please post it in discussions, okay? So we can help you, but at least try to solve it yourself for a little while, okay? That way you learn a little more. So what is the next step? Well, let's go back here. The packages page is where you can find a whole bunch of packages for PHP, okay? So here you can look for, let's say, mail, enter, and you find a whole bunch of packages. It has autocomplete here. So you see, you just click on the package and even tells you how to install it. And it tells you what it is, how many people, how many installs. Okay. So that's that. Let's go ahead and find out how to actually get this working, right? So we got the minimal installation. We see that we need to require a file. This is the auto load file for PHP mailer. Okay, this is the file that we need to require to make sure that we have all these objects available. This, we can instantiate the object, the class, right? PHP mailer. And then we can use that to set it up and send email. There's a bunch of things that we can do. As you can see here, you can set the set from address. We can even send more addresses. We can put the name of the address, adding the recipient here, reply. We can do attachment. We can even send HTML, of course, the subject, the body, and even the alt, just in case you got clients that don't have HTML. And then, of course, you can confirm if the email was sent. Super, super easy. But before we do that, what I want to do is create a classes file to actually save our configurations, because it's not a good idea to actually have those configuration lying around there. So I'm going to let's create a folder here on, and by the way, guys, this is a procedural course. I showed you how to deal with objects, and that's why I was very hesitant to show you how to send email. But I had to show you how to do this, even though this is object oriented. Okay, just because this is the right way of doing it. Let's create a directory. Let's call this classes. And inside here, let's create another file called config.php. Let's open some PHP tags. And let's create a class. Let's name it config as well. Great. So what are we going to do? We are going to create some constants. And I showed you how to create constants with a define function before. Now there is something a little newer that's called const, and it's been around. You can create a constant just like this. It's been around for a little bit, for a couple versions. I'm using PHP 7, but I always keep upgrading my MAMP installation, my PHP, to the latest version, okay? Because it's not going to break our application. I'm going to make sure that whatever, if anything breaks in the future, we change it. But we can use any PHP version as of this video, and nothing is going to break. So what's the difference between the define function to define a constant and the declaration const? Well, the define function is a little bit more flexible in certain aspects, okay? We don't have a lot of flexibility with this, but as new versions come in, we get a lot more things. Like, for example, we were not able to do arrays here before, okay? Let's just say some array. But now with this version of PHP 7, I believe that's when they were introduced, if I'm not mistaken. Or PHP 6 or something like that, forgot. But anyway, so with the define function, there's a bunch. We can include expressions, and I believe with const you were not able to before, and now you are able to. So const is getting up there, but with the define function, there's a bunch of things that we can't do with const, which I'm not gonna get into it now. You can look it up. Do a Google search for the differences between const and define. But anyway, so we're gonna use this variable declaration. We're gonna set up some constants here. SMTP host, and for mail trap that we are going to be using is called SMTP dot mail trap IO. Let's do another const. and this is for, I mean, for the port for that, I believe is 2525 if I'm not mistaken, and SMTP for the user. SMTP user, I don't know which one that is yet. I have to look it up in my mail trap, and the password. Okay, let's go to mail trap real quick. And I'm going to, guys, I'm going to get those settings changed. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to waste your time trying to log into my account. Let's go to settings real quick, and I'm gonna be copying everything from the other monitor. So this is the user, and we have the password here as well. Let's go and require that mailer, okay, class that's here somewhere. Okay, so let's go to the file that we are going to be using that on, which is the forgot right here. And let's write a little comment here. Okay, we're gonna configure PHP mailer. Let's first include it up here somewhere. So let's see. Let's open up. I don't have to open up another PHP tag for that. I can just do it right here. So let's do a require. We know it's in this directory, so that's why we put dot. When we are requiring files, we put dot /. That's to require stuff in the same level. 2 dots is to get out of that level, go to the next one, right? So vendor, and it's called PHP mailer, and then we got to hook into that class, PHP mailer auto load. Okay, that's gonna auto load all those classes that we need. And let's do another require. And what I want to do is I need to require that classes, that configuration. So dot forward, and where did I put that class? It's the same level as admin there. Oh, there we go. It's uppercase. For some reason, I got a folder uppercase, huh? Let's actually do lowercase on that folder. Name. And let's do the config. Okay, so once we require that, we come down here, we can start using it. So first things first, mail new PHP mailer. Now we need to figure out if this class exists. So how can we do that? How can we make sure that this up here is working? And that's very simple. Function right here to try to get this class. We get an error depending on the if we can get it or not. So let's go here. So we use this function get class, and we just pass in the object. As simple as that. So let's see if that works. And okay, let's go back to our code real quick. And of course, we have to do a whole bunch of things here to make this work. Let's actually take this out from here. Let's just comment all this. Let's just do it here. Okay. Before we do anything. Let's go back here. And as you can see, it works. Okay. So we are connected. Great. Make sure you undo all that. Okay. So we know that it's working. We know that the object is available. Now we need to start setting it up. Okay. So let's go back to that GitHub page real quick and let's copy some of these settings because I just don't want to write all this stuff. Right. Let's go back and I paste it in here. You can leave these comments if you like. And we have a host, right? So our host is our class config. And as you can see with these two little dots, we can access the class that we want. Okay. Because we already requiring that up there. So we just type in the name of that constant and that's it. Let's actually do that same thing. This for this here. This is, I believe, username or user and SMTP secure, the password. Okay, so let's see what we got. We got and I always like to put this somewhere else. Let me take all this out. It's in my way. Like I said, if you want to leave it, leave it. Anyway, great. So I got the host. I got what we're missing is the port right here. And I like to have this host, the user, password, and the port somewhere there. Okay, what else do we need? So we have the host, we have the port number, the port. We are missing, you know what, let's bring back our SM auth to true. Let's bring that back. Let's see if MailTrap works fine with it. User, password, the port. I think we're good to go. And if we want to send some HTML, which we will, let's do this to true. Okay. Now it's time for us to see if this works. Let's try to send some type of email. So we're gonna set the from and whatever address we want. According faculty. And we can pass in a name if we want to as a second parameter if we want that to show. let's actually add an address, email. Okay, whatever email we type in the form. And we're gonna get that email variable from up here, remember. Okay, from the get request. Okay, let's actually make sure we have some type of subject. It's uppercase. It's hard to remember all this. That's why I always have some type of framework that I work that has all this included. But when you're starting out, it's good to actually learn the core version of PHP, okay? So actually hmm, this is a property, and we are going to say this is a test email, okay? Now the next one would be the body. So the body is also that and an email body. I'm just gonna put that here like this. Let's go ahead and send the email already, right? Let's put this in an if statement, and we're gonna say, well, if the mail was sent or sent, I don't have the T there. They should have put the T there, but that's fine. If mail send is true, then we're going to say it was sent or something. Okay. Else not. Mm, okay. Okay. Let's check this out to see if it works. Ah, of course. Make sure that we have our configuration file ready here. Yeah, that looks like it is. Let's test this out. Okay. So if email exists, we're gonna update the database. We are going to put our settings in this object or instantiate this class, of course, with all the settings and send the email, right? So let's see if that works. Let's go here and it should send an email. Remember that the email that you're putting this input has to be the email you have in the database. I didn't like the way that actually was. Huh. Oh, I think I know why that is. Right here. Now, coding faculty. Enter. And that's taking a little bit. That's giving me a good sign. And it says it was sent. So let's go to our mail trap. And as you can see, we have the email right here, email body. And of course, you can send the HTML. You can test it out yourself. If you make this false or if you take it off, you won't be able to send HTML like this. Okay, embedded in here. If you send that already, you're gonna see that this will be in big here and will be bolded. Okay, so you're able to send HTML with that. We're probably gonna do that later on. So there you have it. Now you know how to send emails, okay, correctly to any email bots out there, to any inbox bots or inbots. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next lecture.